Looking as beautiful as a doll, where did our cranberry go, or rather, where is she planning to go? So she had dressed up really well with her favorite dress, her favorite footwear, set her hair really well, put on a bright lipstick, and she was looking so beautiful that she was admiring herself, as in how pretty she is. So she is very happy that she has decided to do what she wants to do, and she walks down, she gets into the cab, thinking over her decisions. She's like really happy that she's decided something on that day, and she has decided to correct or bring in happiness into the life, which was missing out a lot of things. So she reaches, where is she going right now, by the way? She is going to her favorite concert from her favorite artist. Now, what is her passion? What does she like the most? She always loved Hindustani music, and her favorite artist was coming to perform. So she decided to go there, and she gets in and she loves the ambience with so many people around, and she feels so connected with the artist. She's enjoying the music. She feels like this is where she had to be, and she feels very happy for having taken that decision to come for the concert. And after enjoying the concert, she walks out of the place with a smile on her face, and suddenly she bumps into who? She bumps into to the man who showed her what is happiness for the first time. That is our first hero, our very own Apple Pie. So, what is Apple Pie doing there? He chose work and he moved into the same city. And since they have the same passion, it's quite obvious that they would end up meeting if they are in the same city. So life is sometimes very difficult to understand. You run away from something, you land again with the same thing, and again you run away from there, you land on something else. So there is some power for our destiny. It is pre-planned, or it is designed in a particular way. So this was the designs, especially for her. So she happens to meet him, and the same vibrations are felt like what she felt when she met him for the first time. She is very happy to have found him, but there is some kind of a conflict going on in her mind. It happens to most of us. Whoever has grown up in our culture, whoever has been brought up by strict parents, always have this thing: am I doing it right? Is this wrong? Because now that she's a married woman and she's meeting someone whom she was involved with earlier, so he calls he calls her out for a coffee, and they decide to go out for a coffee. On the way, she is happy to have met him. She feels wanted. She feels, cared, and she's really happy about it. On the contrary, she's thinking, is it wrong? Am I doing a mistake? Is it fine? This is happening in her mind, but she chooses to choose her happiness and goes out with him for a coffee. So they start talking again about all the years, whatever has happened. That is not something to dwell into in deep. So they have a lot of nice conversation, a feel good conversation, and they sip into their favorite cappuccino. They are enjoying the drink, and after the conversation is over, they walk out from there. And while they walk out hand in hand. Now, at this point of time, they both are totally blank, as in she is totally blank. Cranberry is feeling very happy and she is enjoying the moment. And as they walk ahead, they end up kissing each other. Now, kissing each other. Yeah, I said that right. So they end up kissing. So let's talk about this. Her query is whether what she did is right or wrong. So, how did you find the instance from Cranberry's life? Have you all encountered something similar? If you have, or if you have something similar to this, you can always write to us, or you can even write it down in the comment section. So what we're going to do right now is, since we have gone through the entire life, right from childhood till adulthood and then marriage and what happens after marriage, we're looking at it with a psychological perspective. Like, why is she like this? Why is that Cranberry has such a particular characteristic? So when we look into it, let's go into the childhood of hers, okay? Generally, what happens is that parents, na, especially in Indian households or in general, we can say, because emotions are generally the same. So when they are a parent for the first time, they try to overdo with their love, but they do not know how to show that love. Okay, they want to show that, I love my child so much. I give her whatever she asks for. If she wants money, I'm ready to give money. If she wants dolls, I'm ready to give dolls. She points her finger towards something, I will give it to her. That is how much I love my child. It's most of the parents' common comment that I hear. But that's not what the child needs. Now, the child primarily needs your time, and the mistake here is it is generally shown in the form of gifts, food, then trying to put them back into your tummy. In the sense, you try to safeguard them so much, so much, and so much that you overdo with it, and they lose out on their life. So, when it is a childhood, the child has to experience what normal children experience in their age. Now, in Cranberry's case, she was literally shut down. She was not let to explore her passion. She was not let to talk with her friends. If she ideally had too many friends, she would have got that attention, that love, that sharing of emotion with the friends. But that was cut off. So that is where the main problem arises, where the child is in need of attention and time, but it is being replaced by expensive gifts and food and everything that cannot be seen. It's not like what they see is your attention, your love, hugging your child, sitting with them, talking to them something other than books, like giving them that attention, cooking their favorite food. So these are the things, small little things that children expect from parents. So that was something that is missing out. See, it is very right for parents to expect something out of their children because they have dreams and aspirations, but putting down the dreams and aspirations of themselves into the children is another problem. See, she would have ideally become a great musician. Maybe she would have been a good singer. Maybe she would have been one of India's best singers. You definitely don't know because she is a talented child. But she was always pressurized for academics. So she had no other option because she knew that she cannot do anything because she has been put into the box, pressurized to do only a particular kind of thing. So that is why, when children grow, when they turn into teenagers, see what generally happens is when they're really small, mama is always right, dada is always right. When they start going to school, my teacher is always right. When they grow up, my boyfriend is always right. Later on, my husband is always right. So that's how children generally transform. Now if it is a boy child, again it's going to be the opposite gender. Similarly, like my girlfriend is right, my teacher is right, my girlfriend is right, my wife is right. So that's how we transform over the period in different age groups. So what we need to do is we have to let them be themselves, live as children, let them have their right to choose what they want to learn. So when you give them the freedom, see what you need to do is as parents, you need to give them freedom and there has to be discipline in the center. You cannot just box them in the name of discipline and stunt their growth and make them be like a capsule of what you want. So that is where the childhood problem arises. She wanted attention, just deprived. She wanted to have friends, which is deprived. She wanted to pursue a passion, that's not a love, that's again deprived. So this child is growing with deep sense of missing out. So she is missing out a lot of things. So that is why she is in search of something which she is not able to get. So every time the search is going on and on and on, but she's not able to reach where she wants to reach. So the first issue is happening in the household or with the parents. Now after that, when she falls in love, now you might be feeling the child was accessing pornography or was looking for things outside through the phone. See, she was deprived of having a phone. See, if you give them a phone and set the access right, or give them for a particular hour, and then let them use it for certain hours. You want to play a game, you want to see something, you can see it. But when that is deprived, you tend to make them be more inquisitive in the wrong direction. I'm not saying watching porn is wrong, or I'm not saying any of those things, but we should understand the biological drives or the biological changes that happens in children once they get into teenage. So it's not that the parents have not gone through the same phase. Definitely every other human being goes through this kind of a phase. So you should understand when the sexual interest develops in children. So especially in teenagers, it does happen. Earlier, it used to take a lot of time. Now, because of the advent of technologies and talking to people and magazines and even movies and everything, they know it much earlier in life. You don't have to hide it. Now, giving sex education. See, telling them, talking about sex doesn't make you less a parent or a parent without any values. See, eventually they're going to know how they are born. They're going to get to know about it. The only thing that you need to keep in mind is at what age you need to have that sex education kind of conversation with them. See, you should also educate them to understand if they are in a relationship, it's not necessary that they should tell the parent, but they should always know to identify whether they are in the hands of a safe person or someone is making use of them. So we need to educate them about that. So this is about the parenting factor. Now, a lot of us might be really bothered. It's very shocking for our culture to say, okay, she was sexually involved with someone, that too before marriage. And again, she's married and she's again getting involved with the same person after marriage. It's a big mistake. But why? Why is this person doing the mistake? Or mistake, as most of us call. I do not want to call it as a mistake or call it right or wrong, because you can decide on it for each their own. That's what I totally believe in. So what I'm trying to say is, here now when we look at human psychology or humans in general, there are different needs that a human being needs to meet. So we have a lot of great people who have come up with the human needs details. Okay, so there is this physiological needs where she is being deprived of her physiological needs, and she is being deprived of the sense of affiliation and being loved. So when these two things are not being met, it's very difficult for anybody to move ahead in life. So this is where the problem has arisen. She never had a friend. She found a friend. She started experimenting. She started feeling, as if she belonged to someone. So that is what was experienced in the first relationship, which went missing later on. So it's very, very specific in her life. As a child, she was missing out on a friend. Then she finds someone. Again, after marriage, she's expecting the same kind of love and care, but that's again missed out. So she is in search, in hunt of satisfying those two needs that she has missed out on. That is the sense of being loved and affiliated. And another thing is her physiological need. So when she goes and spends time with the person whom she dated first, she feels comfortable and she feels good about it. So there are two things that makes me talk about. One is the culture or the societal influence. Another is thinking as pure human beings. So if we do not concentrate on the culture basis and we're just going to concentrate as humans, I can totally say that this is absolutely fine. But when we talk about the principles, the culture, the value, maybe there are reasons that you can say this is not right, she should have spoken out to the person. But as a child, she has been restricted. So from where does she get the courage to go and talk? That is another point that we need to look into. So I have to leave this open here itself, as in psychologically, these are the things that affected her. The personality of the child has been stunted, or it is more like it has turned out to be a dwarf instead of growing into a full grown personality with the needs being met in being happy. It has been stunted, especially because of the issues as a child, and later on as she grew up, she grows with those insecurities, those needs not being fulfilled. So this is what has happened to Cranberry and Cranberry's life, and that is why she chose to do all these things. So here I am not justifying anything. What I'm trying to say is the psychological underlying factors. So this is what I wanted to say. So you can look at it the way you want. You can probably analyze it and moral police it based on the culture that we come from, or you can just look at it on humanitarian grounds. So you can just analyze, give your own ideas to it, and you can come up with whatever you want to say. Please leave all those details in the comment section. We can have a healthy discussion on the same. And if in case you're having similar instances in your life which you want to be analyzed, you can definitely send it to us. The email address will be mentioned down below. So I hope you liked today's session about cranberry and apple pie and Dr. J. So if you would like to discuss about the instances that has been explained today, then you can discuss in the comment box below. And if you want us to read out your letters like this, then please do send it to the email address that is mentioned below. Please do like, share and subscribe if you have liked our new segment. So I'll be back again with yet another letter with more intriguing and interesting instances from people's life. So please keep supporting and keep watching. Thank you so much.